got everything all set up on our pond, sitting in the shed right now. This will be our future dock right here. I'll cut that down to height. Last night I came out, I threw a couple floaters out here in the water. This morning I set up the silhouettes out there on the other side of the pond. You can see the ice is freezing up on the pond quite a bit. Only a little bit of open water is over here on the right hand side. I'll have to go ahead and throw the aerator down there on that end of the pond to keep the water open very soon, but next week is supposed to be like 40 degrees, so I'm assuming everything will melt. Once again, I don't have my waders on, otherwise I'd probably go out there and get that snow off of the floaters. Maybe I'll go out there and try knocking them off real quick, so they don't look that appealing with the snow covering them. Hopefully can get a goose down. Would be the first goose that we shot here on our property, so hopefully can make that happen today. Would be really nice if it was banded as well, but we'll see. Stay tuned. I just got the first honker on our property this year, actually ever. First honker ever. First thing I've ever, bird I've shot here on the property. Eddie's out there in the decoys. You probably can't even see him. I got to go ahead and get out there and finish him off, but I just want to tell you guys really quick what ended up happening. I was down here, didn't get the camera on in time, but there was a 3-pack that came and circled right here. They came relatively close in this area, and then they passed by here, and I took my first shot right when they were here, and my second shot when they were over here in this area. So barely got the shot off, but I did take one out of that pack. All right, let's get out there now and go ahead and finish him off. I need to get that aerator out there a little bit further in the pond. This should be close enough. Lights out. Let's go see if we got any bands. No bands on that foot. Nope, no bands. Still nice looking honker. Well, at least I got more than one bird today. Again, I did not have the camera on because I was actually up here shoveling snow out of our driveway, as well as I'm working on taking the canoe back to the pond. So I got that halfway drug out there. I want to use that to get that aerator a little bit further out there in the middle of the pond. Hopefully open up a little bit more of that water. And like I said, I was up here shoveling the snow off the driveway. And good thing I kept the gun on me, my calls around me, because I heard a little just one of those, not really much of a call. Picked up my calls and started calling. There was a flock of maybe 6. This is exactly where I was standing, getting the driveway shoveled off the rest of the way. Grabbed the gun out of the garage, walked over here to the corner of the house, just gave them a couple more shallow, low calls. They swung around a couple times and came right over here, right above the corner of the house. Hopefully ShotKam got it. I took one shot and we'll come over here and you can see this honker laid right here. So that is my second honker for the day. Hopefully there will be more. Looks like he actually fell here. Ended up making his way down the hill. Let's see if we got any bands. Nope, no bands, but nice size honker nonetheless. Most of these birds ended up landing on the other side of the road in a cut cornfield. So I'm hoping this afternoon they want to come over here into the water that I should have opened up by then and maybe get in a little bit of this water. Seems like our flights are around 4 o'clock. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead,
finish dragging the canoe out here. Like I said, get that aerator out in the center of the pond in a little bit deeper water, get churning that area up a little bit more, hopefully open up that water a little bit further. But for now, after I get that all done, I'll be in the house. I'm just gonna leave the decoys out here. Something decides to fly around lunchtime from the field across the way, you know, I'll be ready. I'll have my gun ready. I can, you know, get out on the back porch. It's not that great of quality hunt, you know, if you're in the house and you just hear geese coming over and run out on the back porch and shoot them. But, you know, I got nothing else to do. I need to get some stuff done on the house, so I might as well leave the decoys set up and see if anything else flies today. If not, I'll be out here sitting in the shed this afternoon and hopefully have a couple more come and do it like they did this morning. If you guys have been enjoying this ShotKam footage from the new Gen 4 ShotKam, make sure you go down below, hit that thumbs up, like button. Also, at the time of me filming this video right now, the ShotKam is actually on sale. Black Friday sale, which is their biggest sale of the year, starts on November 24th and goes through November 28th. You can get $100 off the brand new ShotKam Gen 4, or if you want the ShotKam Gen 3, it's $60 off. So the ShotKam Gen 4 is at $600 right now, $599, and the Gen 3 is at $439. You get free shipping, a 2-year warranty, 30-day trial period. You get the 12 gauge attachment, but they do have sub gauges available. So yeah, make sure you're going down below. Check out the link in the description down below if you want to see more details on the brand new ShotKam Gen 4. But it has been performing great, especially in these colder temperatures. I will be doing a full review very soon, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to test it in these colder temperatures where the Gen 3 had a little bit more difficult of time. You'd have to use a warming sleeve to keep it warm. The other thing that I'm loving is the battery life on this thing is amazing. Can hunt out here the entire day and don't have to worry about it going dead at all. And of course, the best new feature is the specs on the resolution. You know, that 4K video is just super smooth, and if you drop down to the 2.7K with the higher frame rate, which is usually what I'm shooting, you can definitely slow down that footage real nice and slow and watch those pellets fly directly up and hit your bird. All right, let's go ahead now. I need to go ahead, get that aerator out there in the middle of the pond like I said, and then we'll be packing it up, heading back in the house until this afternoon, and hopefully we can add a couple more birds to the board. This would be amazing if I limited out here first day hunting our property on our pond with honkers. I'm out here by the aerator. Right there you can see it. Didn't do a very good job tossing it out this morning. It is straight up and down. I do have a question I'm not sure if anyone knows the answer of. Is it legal to leave decoys out here on your own private property overnight? I know it's not legal on public land, and I think I remember it saying somewhere that you can't leave decoys out overnight when you're not hunting, but I know there's people that leave duck decoys in their pond just for decoration. So where does that legality kind of stand? Is it just because they're for decoration and they're not actually hunting over them? I do want to grab one of these duck decoys though and tie it to the aerator with a string so that I'm able to come out here, you know, whenever and pick it up and not actually just pick it up from the hose. I could use just a plain buoy, but you know, that even attracts ducks sometimes. So where does that line actually stand? Can I leave decoys out here overnight? Can I leave a single decoy attached to that aerator just as a cord to pull that up? I do need to get out here and pick up that wad there that's in our pond too. Wind's kind of pushing me over. Let's go ahead, get this aerator, the one single aerator out here in the middle of the pond a little bit more. See, the ice is not very thick. Just doing that breaks it up a little bit. So hopefully getting that aerator out here keeps the water open. This weekend it is supposed to be in the teens though overnight, in highs of 20. So I'm gonna leave the aerator running all weekend long to hopefully keep this pond open and keep these birds moving in here. All right, got the aerator all strung up. Not sure if you guys can see that, depending on where the GoPro's pointing. Usually I have it higher up in the air. I'm gonna go ahead and lower this down. This is a Vertex aerator. See how deep the water is here in this location. I'm guessing we probably have, it's about 5-6 feet. Over there is the deep hole of this pond, about 20-25 feet deep. Right now, we don't have any fish in here yet. We just stocked it with minnows. In the springtime, we'll be stocking this with some bluegill, largemouth bass, and some perch. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing some fishing on this pond for sure. And level of this will come up probably another 5 feet up here on the bank in the springtime when this fills up the rest of the way. This was just dug here for fill dirt for around our house. So it's only been dug for about a year. So still going ahead, getting established. And yeah, we've been seeing a lot of deer back here. Some nice 8 points. Maybe I'll be getting into a little bit more of that next year, doing some bow hunting and some rifle hunting on the channel. Just been way too busy this year. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, tie up the decoy on this line now, and go ahead, get back to shore. All right, I got the aerator fired up. You can see it out there where that decoy is. Already starting to look like it's doing some pretty good work there. I did not initially get this aerator for, keeping the pond open. I originally got it for when we stock this full of fish, keeping the water nice and oxygenated. But it serves dual purpose during the wintertime to go ahead, and you might as well go ahead and use it to keep the pond open for hunting instead of, going ahead and buying something like an ice eater that you run just to keep the water open. Hear that ice starting to crack. We have 220 volt ran out here to the shed where our sprinkler system is, so it works great for going ahead and running that out. You can see the line down here. I actually have a second one of these aerators that I'm going to go ahead, tie into this line, get that set up so that that pump has enough air pressure, enough flow to be able to run 2 of those aerators. So maybe have one down here and one over here. Keep a little bit bigger area of water open. The goose I got this morning, I put him over here. Furthest one on the right hand side, just on the other side of those ducks. Kind of set him up in a little bit of a sleeper configuration. Next year, hopefully I'm able to get some full bodies. These are all just silhouettes, about 5 dozen of Big Al silhouettes, and they do a phenomenal job. But, I need some full bodies to fill in the gaps a little bit more, as well as get some goose floaters. I got these ducks out here. They're doing a little bit, but I need something with a little bit larger footprint. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead now, get in the house, get some of my other work done that I need to get completed today, and we'll see if any more geese fly over, maybe around noon. If not, this afternoon, I'll be back out here sitting in the shed again. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more open water. You can already see how much has been opened up with just that little bit running there though. And hopefully we can add a few more geese to the bag. I'm back out here for the afternoon sit. It's about 3:30. We got probably about 30 minutes before birds start flying again. We had a pretty big ice wind snowstorm come through around lunchtime. I just got finished off dusting off a bunch of the silhouettes. Here's one of my birds from earlier. Hopefully he hasn't set up too hard. I know they're a little bit harder to, process when they get cooled off. You can see some of these silhouettes though, they were just covered in snow and ice. So a lot of them I beat off, tried dusting off as much as I could, flipping them around the other direction. Hopefully some of that sun melts them off a little bit more. I got to do those 3 over there yet, and then maybe try to dust off the duck floaters out here a little more. So far, the pond looks great. See the aerator out there in the center where that duck is? Really did a great job melting a lot of this ice, bringing up that warm water from underneath. Melted that pretty well. So you can kind of see the decoy spread that I got laid out here. I've been sitting over there in that shed, just kind of hunting out of the window there. Have most of my decoys down here on the end, a couple up into the farm field here. This was soybeans this year. It's already been worked up. I do have the option to sit out in the other field over there too, a little bit bigger farm field area. Not sure where the geese are preferring right now though. They definitely like the cut cornfield over soybeans. So I think the only thing I got going for me right here is the open water, the pond. And then up here in our grass, I have, let's see, half a dozen silhouettes up here, as well as my second bird that I got this morning. Kind of got him set up, looking kind of like a sleeper. We'll see how that works out. Got maybe a dozen or so duck floaters on this end of the pond, and maybe 6 over here in this corner of the pond. So my hope is that the birds work the same that they did this morning. They pretty much came right over the top of the pond, circled. That's within, I think my shots were within 30, 40 yards. Probably have about 50-yard shot from the shed all the way to the decoy. So as long as they're between the shed and the edge of the farm field, definitely within range. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, get sat down in the shed, then come back out, try to dust off a few of these ducks, as well as those 3 goose silhouettes over there. And hopefully birds start moving anytime now. See if we can pick up a couple more. I have about 25 minutes of shooting light left yet. Most of those geese are going over there in that field, about half a mile to a mile away. So like I said, it's kind of hard to compete with all those birds over there. They're kind of just pulling it from me. You probably seen a little bit of that video already. I'll include some of those geese that flew directly overhead. But as you can probably see, the deer over here are enjoying the oats. I think there's a buck way over there on the other side of the decoys. As usual, when you're hunting geese, hunting ducks, all the deer decide to come out, and it is rifle season right now. We'll see, hopefully that buck comes over here. If not, hopefully some geese start to fly, and not sure, we might be out here again tomorrow morning. My buddy Sean might be joining me for a little bit of a morning hunt. Not sure if you guys can see, but it looks like our 6-point buck. You can see that the antlers are definitely inside the ear, so it's not the nice looking 8-point we have walking around here, but still kind of cool out here seeing these deer messing around in the decoys. Would be kind of curious if a flock of geese came down and landed, what they would do here. That's shooting light, so can't shoot anymore. We will be out here tomorrow morning though. Like I said, me and Sean are gonna give it a try. Hopefully we don't get too much snow tonight. Hopefully those birds just stay over in that field till the morning and then come over here to the water. I'm not gonna leave the aerator on overnight. Hopefully the water just stays open. Hope we might get enough wind, enough ripples that things do not freeze up. Gotta go ahead now, pack up all the decoys, and yeah, go clean those 2 birds that I got this morning. They're probably a little stiff at this point. Definitely know at least the meat is not spoiled though with how cold it is out. Might include some of the footage from tomorrow morning on the end of this video, depending on how we do or not. But if not, we'll see you the next time we're getting after them. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below.